Hold on, let me stop you right there. If you haven't seen the first 5 yet, you can find those over on Let's Read's channel. Just click the annotation here or the link in the description. Now, without further ado, let's get going. Number 5. So, way back in college, I worked a summer job flying a register for a grocery store. This chain had a policy with your loyalty card. If there was an X number on the back, you could cash checks at our stores, and cashiers could use that number as an ID on checks for buying groceries. If it had a Y number, then it was just a card that someone had and with almost no information on file. It's my last shift before I go back to school. I'm standing at this register, counting down the last half hour, when this woman rolls up with a big card full of stuff. I get started, beep beep beep, and I give her the total. She hands me a check with a Y number written on it. I ask to see her card, thinking maybe she's just written it wrong. Nope, it's a Y number. Ma'am, do you have your driver's license with you? No, I don't have it. Okay, well, I can't take this check. It's got a Y number on it. I know, I can't take the check if it has a Y number, only if it has an X number. Every other cashier always has. They shouldn't have. I'd lose my job if I took this. That was my go-to answer to someone trying to pull this crap on me. She starts screaming, "Then you can go put all this back yourself or you can take my damn check." Now, I'm 20 minutes from being done here. The managers love me, they think I'm funny, they're actually not happy I'm leaving. So I figure, well, let's just have some fun with this. So I whip off my vest, throw it on the floor and scream back, "Don't talk to me like that, I quit!" I storm off to the office, take a seat, and one of the managers looks at me confused. I ask him to go out and talk to the woman at register 2, who's still standing there with her mouth hanging open. He came back a few minutes later, smiling. "How'd that go?" "Well, I told her you were right, and that she had just cost me my best cashier." Number 4.
I was working drive-thru, and this man pulls up to the second window for me to give him his food. He has the cutest little baby boy in the back seat, so of course, after the greetings and handing off of the food, I said hi to the baby. He had been staring intently at me, and when I said hi, he immediately started laughing and waving. He was just the cutest thing. His dad turned around and looked at him and said, "Son, you're too young to be flirting. Stop it." Me. "Oh, honey, I'm sorry, but I have a boyfriend. If you were like 15 years older, you could fight him for me. But right now I think he'd crush you." And so we shared a laugh. He left, and I continued with my work. About an hour later, they returned. The dad. "Oh, he insisted on coming back to see you," turns around and says to his son. "Now remember, no more flirting because she has a boyfriend." The baby just laughed and waved his chubby little arms around. It was a good day.
Number 3. This was back in, I want to say 2005, before the proliferation of smartphones, etc. It's about the time I worked at a gas station or convenience store for one whole day, and ended up as a manager in a district manager's worst nightmare. I'd taken the job not 2 days before and was told to show up at 7 AM on a Monday for training. No big deal, right? The manager suddenly seemed stable enough at the time, but I suppose that's what they say about all the crazies. So, I show up at about 7 AM, bright-eyed and bushy-tailed and ready to get to work. I'm immediately introduced to the young lady who's been tasked with training me by the manager. The manager spends the first 20 minutes of my shift not training me, but ranting and rambling about how she just worked a double graveyard and how she's bushed, and how this place just sucks her dry. You get the idea. Then she reiterates that young lady is going to be with me all day, training me step by step, and is then gone in a puff of smoke. gone home to get some much-deserved sleep. Leaves her home number on a scrap of paper behind the counter, in case of emergencies only. Sensible enough. So, we get down to business. Young lady is shocked that I'm already somewhat register and computer literate, and so takes the opportunity to abandon me in the back room, doing a few hours of computer training that I gather is supposed to encompass the entirety of my day. When I finish my computer training, I step out into the main store area to be relieved of duty. Young lady instead informs me that we're now going to do some hands-on training. Weird, but fine, I guess. I mean, I'm not going to scoff at a few extra hours on my paycheck, so whatever, let's do some hands-on work. The hands-on work goes on for about an hour and a half, bringing my day to about 4.5 hours at this point. Until young lady pulls me aside and announces, with a beaming shit-eating grin on her face, "You know what? Yeah, I think fuck this place." Fuck this place? Yeah man, fuck it, it's bullshit anyway. Fuck everything, I quit. Like, in 2 weeks? Like now. What? With that, she tears off her smock, lights a cigarette, and walks out of the joint, leaving me to mind the store alone. I don't know how to do cash drops, I don't know how to do most of this shit. I've been here for 4 hours tops. You must be kidding me. Young lady locks the door to the back room, shovels a key underneath the door, and is gone forever. So, like the nice young man I am, I call the manager's emergency number. The phone rings and rings and rings for maybe 2 minutes straight before she finally answers, mid-snore, with a befuddled, "What?" I promptly explain the situation to her and tell her that I need help. She tells me to hold tight and that she's going to call her assistant manager to come and help. You know where this is going. The assistant manager never comes. I'm waiting for another 2 hours and the assistant manager never shows up. I call the manager back, same deal. 2 minutes of continuous ringing, she promises something else, hangs up on me. We go through this process 4 more times over the course of 2 more hours, when the next person on shift is due to show up anyway. He never shows. Naturally. So I call the manager until she finally just takes her phone off the hook so I can't call her anymore. This is the part of the story where I start to freak out. I have no other numbers, I know no one else who works here, I am alone. No way to clock out, no way to hide, no way to lock the doors, nothing. Just work, only work, forever and ever and ever and ever. I can see this is how I die. I'm sure of it. I'm in a really shitty, boring version of Final Destination. At this point, I feel the need to call out the dudes who run the tattoo shops across the street. They've been coming in for cokes and energy drinks and such throughout the day, and had taken a keen interest in my well-being. They were pretty up on the situation and kept me reasonably calm throughout the day. They noticed that I was starting to freak out. Asked me what the situation was, I explained. Just like that, these badasses jump into action. They bring me their phone book with all the numbers to the other stores in the area circled, and they go to the local taco cart and get me a plate of tacos and a Coke to keep my strength up. I'm not into dudes, but I considered asking these guys to marry me then and there. Fueled by tacos and sheer, unadulterated panic, I start making calls. Other stores are shocked by what's happened, but don't have anyone to spare. They've got no one. But one of them gives me the district manager's home number. Bingo. I explained the situation to him and listened as he went from perfectly congenial to absolutely terrified. He tells me, "I'm coming down there to personally relieve you from your shift." But then he says the perfect combination of words to set me off. "But I'm going to need about an hour and a half, is that okay?" Welcome to my breaking point. I begin to shout and shout and shout. "No, that is not alright. Tell you what, district manager, either you get down here in half an hour or I'm going to open the cash registers, the safe, turn the gas pumps on unlimited and go home. Is that what you want? Free gas and free money for everyone who comes into the store until there's no more money. Is that what you want?" I'll be there in 20 minutes. I now see what has happened. I have officially been taken hostage by this store, and have taken it hostage in return. I am now the crazy person in the situation. I'm the movie bad guy. I'm the one making demands. But you know what? He got there in 15 minutes flat. And you know what? He was very nice, all said and told. He apologized profusely, even helped me actually kick in the locked back room so I could clock out all proper like. It's 10:30 p.m. Finally. But then the manager, in her pajamas, eyes bloodshot and wild, murderous and back from the dead like the last bad guy in Die Hard, comes storming into the store, screaming at the district manager, who had apparently forgotten her to answer her phone during his trip over. District manager, how fucking dare you tell me how to run my store? I swear to fuck you've been telling me what to do for too long now, and I'm telling you for the last time. The district manager turns to me as the manager is shrieking, and he says something that makes me start laughing like a psychotic. Go home, dude. I've got this. Shit, you don't have to tell me twice, amigo. I'm gone. When I get to the door, finally, he calls after me and says, I really hope this doesn't affect your future of the company. I never went back. Number 2.
A mother just came into my very small retail store with her 3 preteen kids. Normally this spells disaster. However, these kids each had a couple of 20s and thoughtfully looked through the items in the store before selecting something, bringing it up to the register, buying it with the money from their pockets, and being extremely polite. As they left the register, the mom told the kids, "Make sure you save your receipts so we can budget tonight." One of the kids replied, "I always keep my receipts," in the most polite way possible. Good on that mom for teaching her kids the value of money and financial planning. Just wanted to share because unlike most of the dross that comes through, they made my day genuinely better.
Number 1. I work as a manager at a small chain of C-stores with about 30ish locations. I'm putting away my main order of the week when a woman comes in asking for a nutrageous bar. I'll tell her with a smile we had some right in front of the store, as I pointed right to a blank spot on the shelf. Turns out we had sold out over the weekend, and I had just broken this poor woman's heart and shattered her dreams with false hope. She had been searching relentlessly for weeks, but couldn't find one anywhere. I apologized for the bad fortune, and said I would order more straight away. The woman sighed, bowed her head, and walked out of the store like a dejected puppy. I turned back to the order, opened the tub, and right on top was a brand new box of nutrageous bars. I tear open the box and vault over the counter like a badass cop sliding over a car hood, sprinting out the door like I had just clocked out. I caught up to her just as she starts to pull away from my store, and from happiness, most likely on her way to jump off a bridge, hoping to find an outrageous bar waiting for her in the next life. She turned and saw me lumbering towards her, holding the candy bar like a newborn child I had just delivered into this world. I had never seen someone so happy over a candy. She runs to me like she was a veteran running home from duty, and running towards her children for the first swirling embrace. I tell her to have it on the house and have a good day. Then just now, I get a call from my district manager demanding to know if I was the one who gave away a candy bar to a customer for free. Fuck, I think to myself. I do something nice for someone and this goddamn bitch calls my boss to tell on me. So I tell my boss, yeah, it was me. He tells me that she called and was so happy with our company, she would be choosing us for the local volunteer firefighter appreciation gifts this year. 2,000 in gift cards, 25 each for the volunteers. My boss says he is giving me a 10% commission for the gift cards, minus the price of an outrageous bar. Right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe, like, share, comment, do all that crazy stuff. And don't forget to check out Let's Read if you haven't already. Have a good day.
I